Hello everyone, my name is Satyam Shivaach and I'm working as a legal intern with LEXIS and Company. And in this video, we will discuss about mutual divorce. Divorce by mutual consent or mutual divorce is when both the husband and the wife mutually agrees that they cannot live together anymore and that the best solution being divorce. They would present a mutual divorce petition jointly before the Honorable Court and without putting any allegation against each other. For instance, if the husband and the wife have been living separately for a period of over a year or and further are unable to live together and both have mutually agreed that the marriage has totally collapsed, that they may be granted with a divorce. Now let's see what are the requirements to be complied for a mutual divorce. First being the parties have been living separately for a period of not less than 1 year, and it is doubtful whether it has been intended by the legislator that the parties have lived separately by mutual consent or by force of circumstances or situation. But it does not seem necessary for the court to go into the matter, provided the condition of separate living under the same roof or of a matrimonial house or in separate residence by the parties is satisfied. Unless the consent of any of the parties of such petition is validated by coercion, fraud or undue influence, the court ought not to travel beyond the statutory condition of its jurisdiction. Now the second is the parties have failed for any reason whatsoever to live together. In other words, no reconciliation or adjustment is possible between them. And the third condition is the parties have freely consented to the agreement of dissolution of the marriage. And the fourth is the parties are at liberty to withdraw the petition. It seems that the petition may be withdrawn even at the instance of one party in the course of 6 months from the date of presentation of the petition. But when a joint motion is taken by the parties after the collapse of 6 months, but before the expiry of the 18th month of the date of presentation of the petition for making inquiry, the unilateral right of the party to withdraw the petition appears to be barred. Now let's see how to file a mutual consent divorce. There are several steps involved in order to get a divorce by mutual consent. The procedure of mutual divorce in India generally begins with the filing of the petition as have been given under section 13B of the Hindu Marriage Act. There are also two motions involved on this procedure. The following are very important steps. First is the filing of a joint petition. The first step is to file a joint petition in the respective family court. This joint petition is to be signed by both of the parties. The divorce petition contains a joint statement of both the parties that due to their irreconcilable differences, they can no longer stay together and should be granted a divorce. This statement also has to the agreement to split the asset, custody of children, and all the other relative matter. Now the second is the appearance of both parties in the court. The second step of the procedure is the appearance of both the parties in the divorce in the family court after the petition has been filed. The court fixes this date and the parties appear along with their counsel in the court. Now the third is the scrutiny of the petition by the court. The court thereafter scrutinizes the petition and the document filed by the parties. When and if the court is satisfied, it orders for the recording of statement of the parties on oath. In some cases, the court attempts to bring about reconciliation between the parties. When there is a failure to reconcile the parties, the divorce matter is proceeded with. Now the fourth step is to recording of statement and passing the order on the first motion. After the statement of the parties have been recorded on oath, an order on the first motion is passed by the court. After its 6-month period is given to the parties, after which the parties are required to file a second motion. This has been filed within a period of 18 months from the date of the filing of the petition for the first motion. Then the fifth step is appearing for the second motion. After 6 months of the first motion or by the end of the reconciliation period, if both the parties still do not agree to come together, then the parties may appear for the second motion for the final hearing. This also involves the parties appearing and recording of statement before the court. In a recent judgment, the Supreme Court has categorically stated that 6-month period is not mandatory and it can be waived off depending upon the discretion of the court. If the second motion is not made within a period of 18 months, then the court will not pass a decree of a divorce. Besides, according to the section as well as the settled law, it is clear that the parties may withdraw their consent at any time before the passing of the decree. Now the sixth step is the decision of the court. The most important requirement for a grant of divorce by mutual consent is the free consent of both of the parties. In other words, unless there is a complete agreement between the husband and the wife for the dissolution of the marriage, unless the court is completely satisfied, it cannot be granted decree for divorce by mutual consent. Upon the basis of the statement as recorded by the parties and upon the basis of a particular facts and circumstances of the cases, the court gives the appropriate orders and dissolves the marriage. The court then passes the decree of divorce and now the divorce becomes the final. Now let's see what information, documents, material are required to file a mutual divorce. The first thing is the address proof of the husband and the address proof of the wife and the detail of profession and present earning of both of them. Then the certificate of marriage along with the family background information. Moreover, the photograph of marriage between husband and wife and evidence to prove that the husband and wife have been living separately for more than a year. Furthermore, the evidence providing attempt or we can say failed attempt of reconciliation, the income tax statement of both of them and detail of property or asset of both the parties. Then the last thing is the certain other documents which may be required depending upon the facts and circumstances of a particular case. Now let's see some of the advantages of mutual divorce. Taking a mutual consent divorce remove unnecessary quarrels and save a lot of time and monetary resources of the parties. With the ever-rising number of applications being filed for divorce, mutual consent divorce is one of the best given option. It is the quickest form of divorce and thus saves a lot of money and even mental stress. Not only this, the parties have it on their hand to decide sensitive issues such as child custody, maintenance, and other important issues. Thus, it is the easiest way of divorce and certainly less expensive and time-taking as compared to the contested divorce. That is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.